Oh, hi. Welcome back to Ask and Evolve with Erica. I am Erica. I am a nutritional therapy practitioner, which means I help you to connect what you're eating with how you're feeling. And in this series, I am all about taking common questions that I get or questions from you and meeting you where you are and opening up a conversation about it. Today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about blue light blockers. And actually, I'm going to switch out of these because these are my nighttime ones and they're kind of screwed with my head. So here we go. Blue light blockers. So in this video, we are going to talk about what they are, why you should be thinking about them, and maybe other different types of reasons why these are important, and how they really impact our body and our health, and also what kind we should be looking for, because there are a lot of different kinds. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a show and tell. So blue light blockers, what the heck is this about and what's going on? Yes, they block blue light, but what does that really mean and why is that important? This all really comes down to circadian rhythm, what I think most of us have heard of. And what circadian rhythm really means is our body's connection in rhythm with the sun. Our bodies were really meant to work and live in seasons with the sun, and our hormones are very much connected with that as well. A really brief example of this is sunlight, when it's perceived through our eye by our pineal gland in our brain, is what helps to trigger our body to produce our stress hormone cortisol in the morning to kind of regulate our sleep and our wake cycles. This is exactly why when at night, when the sun goes down, we start to get a little tired and sleepy. So what's really happening here is this light, our sunlight, our daylight, is actually a spectrum of a lot of colors. But the blue light in our daylight is specifically what speaks to our body to send a signal to regulate our sleep and our wake cycles. So blue light is natural, but it's also artificial. And in our modern lifestyle, in our modern world, because of, screens and computer screens and artificial light, we are exposed to blue light all of the time. And the thing is, the blue light from the sun, again, remember, it regulates our sleep and our wake cycle. So during nighttime in nature, there is no blue light, right? So what happens when there is no blue light is our sleep hormone or our melatonin comes up. If we're consistently exposed to blue light all the time, we are working against our body's cycles. So what happens over time when we're working against our body's cycle in this way is we are decreasing the quality of our sleep, which is going to impact everything. It's going to increase our stress hormones. We have chronic stress in our body. It'll impact our hormones. It can impact all kinds of stuff. So our sun, getting sunlight from the sun, is a balanced spectrum of color light, right? So we get this balance of not just blue light, but a lot of other light as well. And artificial blue light, what we're getting from screens, from lighting fixtures and that sort of thing, that is really disconnecting us from our sleep and wake cycle, because what's happening is we are having excessive exposure to blue light. We are getting out of balance and we're having increased stress hormone or cortisol in our body all of the time. This can really, and when we think about this, you guys, it's so common for us to think about seasonal affective disorder or the wintertime blues, right? And this really happens because we don't have direct exposure to light all the time, right? That spectrum of light that we get from the sun. So when we are getting excessive blue light, if we are working indoors where we don't have access to natural light and we're around just blue light and not the spectrum all the time, we can have a lot of issues here. So hormone issues, I mentioned chronic stress, anxiety, depression, all of these are really going to come with high cortisol or high stress hormone, chronic cortisol or chronic stress hormone. So what can we do here to kind of help us to alleviate this a little bit? Blue light blockers. If you are experiencing some kinds of things, and I'll talk about when you should really think about getting blue light blockers, although I think everybody should. There are different kinds, and just like any product, there is quality. There are companies that work with integrity, and there are companies that just want to sell some glasses with some lenses in them to help you think that you are doing the best thing you can for your body. And unfortunately, it's not as helpful as we want it to be. So when should I be thinking about this, and what kinds should I be thinking about? If you are experiencing energy issues, if you are waking up in the morning and your energy is really low and it takes everything to get you up in the morning, or you're hitting the snooze all the time, you're not refreshed when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like your sleep was of quality, right? That's a huge one. If you're experiencing hormone-related issues, ladies especially, even if it's impacting your thyroid, if you're having menstrual cycle issues and you know that there's some things that are related to your hormones specifically, this is all rooted because of cortisol, but this could be a major thing that's contributing to excess or chronic elevated cortisol in your body. So hormone-related issues, I mentioned already, if you're feeling stress, anxiety, depression, all of these kinds of things, especially if you get headaches during the day and you're in artificial light, definitely think about blue light blockers. So what are different kinds? You saw me with the red lenses before. I love the company Blue Blocks. I'm not sponsored by them, but I should be. Blue Blocks is the best, hands down. They put a lot of integrity and research into all of their products. In fact, their products are the only ones that block blue and green light, 100% of the spectrum of blue and green light that actually disrupt your sleep and your sleep cycle. So these crystal ones, or these clearer ones that you see, are daytime blue light blockers. So these are especially for people who are looking at their screens all day. If you're doing work, whether it's, you're getting natural sunlight or whatever that looks like. If you're getting headaches or eye strain, these glasses are just super helpful to protect your body and your eyes and your brain from those kinds of issues. When we're talking headaches, we're talking eye strain, and it helps to prevent macular degeneration over time. So that's the daylight ones. The next step that you can look at are these yellow lenses. Blue Blocks calls them summer glow. But any of these yellow lenses are exactly what you were seeing in here. So all of the same blue light blocking properties, but the yellow lens is actually a color therapy. This is especially really good if you're working indoors under artificial light with not a lot of daylight and you're starting to get headaches. Maybe you have some, again, hormone-related issues or energy issues, anxiety, depression, that sort of thing. Color therapy, huge, 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 especially when you are under harsh artificial light all the time. Wow, I feel like I actually feel a lot better with these on right now. And the last ones, as I mentioned, these Blue Blocks calls these Sleep Plus. But any lenses that are going to have this darker orange or red tint, these are going to be blocking out 100% of blue and green light, which is the spectrum of light that disrupts your sleep cycle, or some of the hormones specifically that are produced to help you in your quality of sleep. So anytime the sun goes down, when I am still awake and I have lights on or I'm watching TV, these bad boys are on. And I've got to tell you, I have personally used cheaper blue blocks for years, and then I upgraded to these or blue light blockers. I used cheaper blue light blockers for years, and then I recently got these blue blocks, and I noticed a difference in a day. These glasses are truly incredible. I noticed within even just a few days that I was starting to get tired sooner and sooner and ready for bed sooner and sooner. So this is another thing. If your quality of sleep is really compromised, if you're having issues falling asleep, staying asleep, blue light blockers, we need to be thinking about this. So Blue Blocks, again, are absolutely my favorite company. These are the only blocks that are 100% proven to block the blue and green light spectrum that interrupts your sleep. I highly recommend them. If you have any questions about blue light blockers in particular, please leave a comment. I would love to connect with you and talk more about this. If you have any other questions related to blue blocks or anything else I mentioned today, to leave a comment, and hopefully I can address it in a future episode.